So y'all been asking how I pee, which would, out of context, be a really strange question. However, I am a quadriplegic, and I pee out of a hole in my stomach, which is called a metrophenol. I got this surgery about a year and a half out. It's called a Mitrophanoff, and it is named after the Greek doctor. I'm gonna turn my music down. I will share a link um, with details so you can research it further if you want. But basically, they put a hole in my stomach right here and made a new highway down into my bladder. So this is what it looks like. Super tiny, right? If you do get this surgery, make sure that it's high enough so that you can get to it. Super crucial. So it's next to your belly button rather than down too far, especially if you wear high-waisted pants, then it's gonna be a bitch. It's a bitch anyway, wearing the pants. It's not a bitch, but it's, I have to pull my pants down in order to get to it. And then I cover it with, this is blue sensitive skin tape. I'll also share a link with that. And then I use split sponge gauze. I just cut it up because it stays together. There's a fold on this side, so it stays together well. But I cut it into fours when I get it. They're made for catheters, which is why they're called split sponge, because normally they would go around an indwelling catheter that you have in your body, like coming out of you all the time. But this is how I roll. I have a friend that uses a panty liner that she just sticks to the inside of her pants because you'll have like really minimal leakage that you don't want on your pants. But for now, I'm going to stick that right here so it's out of the way. And show you my catheterization process. So I use this catheter by Coloplast. I will also send a link for this. It's SpeedyCath. It's a male catheter, 14 French. It's pre-lubricated, super key for you quadriplegics because you don't want to have to mess with trying to lube up. Nobody wants to do that. It's like a whole thing to like open a packet and try to drag it through lube and stay sterile. Like, no. So this is super important to always share this with your doctor if you get this. The link, and be very specific. Like when I moved, I had to be like super specific about, I need this exact catheter. Don't do it wrong or I'll be pissed. Because it just changes the game. Hi, Creamy Cat. Don't knock the phone over, Creamy Cat. Thank you, sir. Okay, I like to use vitamin water or Gatorade bottles or Life water bottles because they have this lovely ridge. I'm gonna pee into this bottle, but see how my hand can like fit into that top groove, and then I have a better grip around it because I don't have any grip other than my tenodesis, which is this, when your fingers fold in like that when you pull your wrist back. So that's how I do that. I don't know how Gatorade would feel about knowing that the only reason I buy their beverage is to piss in it, but I don't really care. Okay, so don't worry, I don't pee on the cap, so it's fine. Sometimes I drop them, which is really annoying, but I didn't this time. It fell in my lap. So I take the cap off, set her down. If you're in a manual chair, you probably, because I lean back in my power chair, but if you're in a manual, you probably want to like scooch your hips forward so you have the leverage to lean back and get your catheter in. The next thing I'm going to do now that I've got everything prepped is I use a pump bottle because then I don't have to mess. It's just the easiest thing for me as a quad. And I pump one pump into my hands and I rub it in all over. Rub it in until it dries. And sometimes, like if I've been at the beach or I think that this is dirty, I have alcohol prep pads in my purse and I'll bust one out, open it with my teeth. You gotta get creative. Teeth are like crucial when you're a quad. But I'll open it with my teeth. Wow, that sun is glaring. So I'm gonna go like this. It's not the best light, but whatever, it's better than it was. Okay, so I'm gonna go up a little more so you guys can see my pee hole. And I might be dehydrated right now. Don't judge me. Good. So, hands are still clean. I haven't been using the part I'm gonna touch, don't worry. Okay. So I put my finger through this little hoop right here. This handy dandy thing. On the other side, there's a sticker that you can peel off. Like so. If you ever want to like stick these somewhere for use later or when you're done with them, like on your bedside table. I have a trash can right next to my bed so that I can just put them in the trash. But careful your mouth doesn't stick to the sticker. I normally don't do that, so I pull it open like that. I peeled apart the top, sorry. I peeled apart the top. It's already kind of open so that I could get my teeth around it. And then I pulled it down with my thumb like that. Then I put a little kink in it at my thumb. I bend it down so it's completely open. Grab it with my teeth. I slip my fingers around it like that, right under the tip. And I pull it out. Sometimes I give it a little shake so that it's not dripping the lubrication all over me. That is a bird. All right. Then set that down. I grab this at the top so I have a little pressure downward, but this is how I'm holding it, right? So it's like resting like that, because this isn't gonna go in me. So, but I don't want to touch this ever. I put my hand on top. I aim. Sometimes it's tricky. And I just kind of breathe and push it down in. And then it'll reach a point where the pee's ready to come out. If you really have to go, it might start flowing. So don't breathe in too hard. And keep it upright. If it dips down, you're going to piss all over yourself. So then I grab the angle in. And I just go like that. I let gravity kind of do its thing for me. Since it's on the right, I hold it on my right side. It just takes time, you guys, to get comfortable doing this. It just takes practice, and then it becomes like muscle memory. But sometimes I'll push on my belly if I feel like it needs a little encouragement. Sometimes if it stops flowing, I'll even give it, like, burp it a little bit and just kind of pull it out. Pull the catheter out a little bit without touching it close to here at all. But so I'm not touching where it's going to go inside my body. I'll pull it out a little bit and then I'll push it back in. And sometimes that helps like move mucus through. That could be clogging it. I also want to make sure my hair doesn't get in there. But at this point I'm just kind of letting it flow and making sure it doesn't come out too far. If it does, I kind of give a little push right at the, like, close to the tip here. This is the zone, like, if you ever touch your catheter on something where it's going to go inside of you, don't risk it and just throw it away. Like, if it touches something and you're like, shit, that part could have schmutz on it and it's going to go inside my body, it's not worth it. Just grab a new one, because you could be asking for a UTI. This surgery is about 5 hours, and they cut you open down here, kind of like a C-section, and like right here, they put a little hole right here where they go in with a scope or something, I don't know. And what they do is they'll either use your appendix if you have it, or they will use part of your bowel. Excuse me. They will use part of your bowel to make your bladder bigger if you've had an indwelling catheter, which you probably have at this point. Because when you have an indwelling catheter for so long, your bladder shrinks because it's never filling. You're just always emptying pee. So your bladder's like the size of a prune or a raisin or something. That's maybe dramatic, but it's small, too small to like have this be worth it. So they augment your bladder, they make it bigger using part of your bowel. And then they close you back up. But the trick with that is that bowel creates mucus. So you gotta clear the mucus out, which if you look at my Get Ready With Me video, you'll see how I irrigate my bladder with sterile water or distilled water or sodium chloride, whatever your choice is. Every morning I do that because mucus, those cells that were once part of your bowel, still think they have to create mucus even though they're now in your bladder. So that's what they do. So you have to clear it out, and it just keeps it clean and prevents UTIs. This is also a good way to monitor how hydrated you are. So I didn't even show you guys how I did that, but basically what I do is I put this tip in here while it's still in me. I make like a little hole with my thumb, like that, so that it opens up the packaging a little bit. And then what I do is once I know I'm done, is I stick this tip into there, and then I gently pull the packaging away from me as I pull the catheter out. And there's little holes on the end. Do you see that? Once I get to those holes, I pause and let the fluid that's still in there empty into here so I don't get piss all over myself. This is the part that takes the most finesse, is making sure you get this tip in here, pull it out slowly, watch for the bubbles to flow into here, and you'll see them as soon as you reach the end where those little holes are. And then I pull it out, I give it a little tap, just like the people with the penises do, and I switch it, stick it back in the packaging, and voila. And I throw it away. So now I'm going to put it right here. These have pee in them now, so don't tip them upside down, and they have lube in them as well still. Okay? Then, if I got a little pee on me, which sometimes happens, I'll just grab a tissue and some TP and wipe it off. I grab this, and I put it back on. This tape is the shit because it's for sensitive skin, and it peels on and off really easily, while also having good stick. Don't moisturize beforehand, because it won't stick as well. But I always tell my caregivers, before you make these little guys, if that's what you're doing, if you're having your caregivers make them, have them sanitize their hands first because it's going right over this area. And then, you know, same for you. Just, this guy is going to be crucial. Hand sanitizer, which we're all very familiar with now. Post-COVID, in a COVID world. Then I just pull my pants back up. And that's how it's done. At night, I have a bedside table where I keep all these things, and I will show you that right meow. Yo. Okay. So, after I pee into this handy dandy bottle right here, I come into the bathroom to rinse said bottle. So I'm going to show you how I do that as a quad. I have to come up to the sink side saddle because the sink isn't accessible, but here is the drill. undo this here cap. And I just do one of these. And then I give it a little swish. Give it a little swish again. I like to do 3 because then they don't get gross and stink. And it doesn't take much water, right? And then turn that off. Look at this, look at this. This is quad tricep right here. Just nothing happening there. This is also 38. 28, 38. Proud of that shit, bitches. All right. I got to level 38. I'm getting to level 39 on Pi Day. It's coming up. Okay? I don't care if you think that's gross. There's not pee on it. Whatever. People are always like, ew. Like, I'm a quad. I'm gross by nature. And also, if you think that's gross, you're a fucking pussy. Okay. So, I'm going to show you how I do my thing at the nighttime. So, here is the bedroom situation. Shelf, which has a charge electrical port outlet. Jesus fuck. Has a fucking outlet on it. Wow, Kelsey, words are hard. So that I can charge my phone or whatever I need at night. And then I put my garbage can right there. And I make sure I have all the things I need to survive at night. I also wear an Apple Watch just in case I drop my phone and shit goes down and I need help. So I always make sure my phone is charged. I have my iPad at night too, or tablet or whatever. This just feels like an Apple ad right now. I like to make sure that I'm not going to die or, you know, piss myself because I didn't wake up when my bladder was full, or I get too hot, or something, whatever. Maybe there's a fire in the house. You know, so I make sure if you don't have a lifeline, which I just didn't like or want, they just are not cute, and the watch just works for me, so I do that. But this is my little table setup, so I make sure I have my calves right there and then I can reach them. I usually put the tabs so I can hook my thumb in the tab. I put them on the side close to the bed. They're not right now because it's daytime and I'm reaching them from here during the day. But you can always just switch them. And then I put my bottles up here, and I put my hand sanitizer and my water so I can reach all this shit at night. And then I have my bed remote in bed with me. I just like put it under my pillow. And then I just have the garbage can so I can stick that right next to the bed after I pee. So this is just a way to be independent, guys, at night, which was a struggle in the beginning. My hair is really dirty because I took a bath with oils in it today, so you're welcome. It's like a hair treatment. I'm doing a hair treatment right now. But yes, Mitrofanoff, highly recommend it. Total game changer. Pro tips would be always sanitize, wash your hands, and then sanitize if you feel like they're real gnarly. Make sure that you're really diligent with your caregivers about cleanliness. Start to listen to the signals that your body's telling you when you have to pee, like your blood pressure rising, your heart rate. Maybe you get a little anxiety. Maybe you get like kind of tingles, which is what I get. You'll start to recognize these messages from your body telling you have to pee. It's just a new way to listen if you don't have sensation. So, you know, as we age and as our bodies change, they have different ways to tell us things. So I feel like life is just always a game of how do I listen now? How do I tune in now? Where am I at now? And I guess this disability has been a good teacher in that way, you know? Shoot me any questions if you have any, if I missed anything. make the big change. Just go for it. You know, like do your research, talk to your doctor, address any questions you might have, be your own health advocate. Maybe ask a friend to help you be a health advocate for whatever doctor's appointment or thing it is that you're doing. So you have some support in a really big decision. Like, we don't have that here. It's not offered to you. So, like, ain't no shame in asking someone else to be your health advocate if you feel like you need some backup support. But yeah, take the plunge, make the big change, prepare yourself for it, do your research, and just, you got this. And ask your community if you have questions. Like, I'm here, we're all here. Love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. You're beautiful. Deuces. This is my lightsaber. I can't do the noise. I need to practice. I'm just gonna butcher it. All you Star Wars fans are just gonna be like, oh my god.